Zittel here with Noel Mikaelian, one of the top ranked cruiserweights in the world, fighting for the world title in a rematch with WBC champion Badou Jack out here in the US, downtown LA, December 13th. Noel, man, let's start with why do you feel what do you have to do better in fight number two to take the title off of Badou Jack?
I have to definitely have a full training camp to have time to do the conditioning and the endurance training and the sparring sessions. A 12-round world title fight is not a walk in the park. So 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks is definitely not enough to compete at that level. But as I said, sometimes you have to take a risk, and no risk, no fun. Now we have the rematch, and I have enough time for the sparring sessions, for the conditioning training, for the endurance training, for the technique training, and I will be better prepared.
Why were you able to only have a short camp the first time?
Well, I was called on short notice because he was scheduled to fight somebody else, and that guy unfortunately had an injury, so I had to pull out of the fight. And I was a champion in recess, so they called me, and then I just said, you know what, fuck it, pack your case, go to London, do a quick camp there, and just go and then just smash.
Well, I guess there's two competing trains of thought as to who would have the edge in this rematch. You're the younger fighter by about 7 or 8 years. You're this second time around, you're gonna have a full camp. But on the other side, Badou had 2 years out of the ring, so maybe he knocked some ring rust off as that fight progressed. What gives? What gives? What, who, how do you, how would you, which narrative you think is more legitimate?
Well, if you're talking about the ring rust, if you follow my last fights, I had in the last maybe 4 or 5 years only 4 fights. So I always fight. When I fought against Badou, I didn't fight for 1.5 years too. And before that, when I fought for the championship, I didn't fight for 2 years, or also 1.5 years. And prior to that too, so I kind of got too used to it. So I don't care which narrative it is. The better man wins, and I will make sure that I'm prepared. Bring my A game this time, and no little dirty tricks, and I can just do what's in my power and be in my best shape.
He feels that this rematch is unnecessary, that he clearly won the first fight.
Of course he does, because he does not want to fight. And he's the only one who thinks that he won this fight. So that's he has to defend his position. I understand that. Of course, he will not say, "Yeah, right, no, I won the fight," and I'm like, of course, he will defend his position. But you have to be neutral about it, and you have to look at the facts and who won the rounds and who outworked the other guy, who landed more punches. It's hit and not get hit. And many experts, actually 90% of them, had me winning. So there's a reason we got this rematch, although we didn't have no rematch clause. So these appeals usually are not very successful. In this case, it was successful because there was a clear misjudgment.
Did you feel that you did do enough to the old phrase goes, take it from the champion, or was it too close and you have to make it much more decisive a second time around?
Well, I have to make it much more decisive the second time, but given the circumstances I was given at that time, I won 1612 or 115, 113, the closest. So that's a normal decision. And if that would be announced, nobody would even dispute or close fight this and that, because you know how they always say it was a close fight if the rightful winner doesn't get the decision. And yeah, this time definitely I have to be more decisive, better prepared, obviously better conditioned, and it is a different story. It's a new fight.
First fight was a skillful but slow fight. Neither one of you guys were, really able to hurt each other significantly at any time in the fight. Do you think
I
there's
wouldn't
more
say that.
fireworks?
I
Say again?
wouldn't. I wouldn't say that. It was a slow fight that I would agree on, but I heard him, I think, twice when his legs were shooking. Once in the end rounds, and a lot of people said that with the right cross, like his knees went down a little bit. So I think I heard him a couple of times.
Do you think this second fight though brings more action?
Um, I don't know. I don't actually care about that. All I care about is get that win. That my hands is being raised. I'm not trying to be a clown for anyone. I know people like exciting fights and this and that, but uh, I just want to do my best, not get injured, and get the W, get my hands raised, and dominance, pure dominance, and dominant the fight.
But so then between your two skill sets and everything you guys bring to the table, what's going to make Noel Mikaelian, ultimately the superior fighter in this rematch?
Here,
Got you,
between the
man.
between the years.
Would it, maybe a little youth too? A little. Do you think that plays a role at all?
Maybe, probably. I don't know. Well, if he decides at that age that he's fighting, he must be very confident about his physical shape. So I don't know. I just say, always say, boxing is like chess. I mean, it's like physical chess. It's 90% mental and 10% is physical. And then that level, everybody has a good training camp, good trainer. He has a lot of experience. I have experience. So what matters is here.
Yeah, and being 42 in 2025 isn't being 42 in 1995 anymore either, right? Like those rules are
People live
changing.
very different lives now. They live more healthy. We have so many nutrition supplements and way more knowledge than athletes had before. So I think it's different. You see a lot of fighters fighting till their mid 40s nowadays.
Hmm.
In the last decade, I would say.
Hmm. Come
I
in,
don't know if I want to do that,
right,
but
because this is you now at this stage really getting into the meaningful fights. So I imagine you want to use this to catapult into it. You're not looking at the finish line.
no, there are options why he came back, and those are the unification fights. So, but that's in the future. Let's
Hmm.
focus on the fight, get the W with this fight, uh, dominate this fight, and then we will look at the next steps.
Now, Noel, I know you've made the journey from being born in Armenia, correct, to the
Yes.
United States.
Well,
What?
yeah, I was born in Armenia, but I grew up in Germany, and I started my boxing career actually in Germany, and then I moved to the United States right before COVID, close before COVID, when I was first dropped against Ludashik, and then it was another time with my old promoter against Myris Breeder. So I was very disappointed. So I said I have to change my wallpaper and go somewhere else. I think, the right decision.
Well, yeah, I mean now you'll be full circle fighting in the United States for a world title. How's that? How's that? I know it's kind of a very open-ended thing to get into, but how has that journey been from you being born in Armenia, where roughly here in the States we know they've had a tough history, and then you make your amateur career in Germany, and now here you are moving to the United States, fighting for a title in the United States.
I mean, I fought for the title already in the United States. I became world champion, WBC world champion 2023 here in Miami.
Hmm.
And that's why I think it was the right decision to move from Germany to the United States for my boxing career. And it was a tough time with especially with COVID and not getting fights. I barely got any fights, and but I still made the right decisions. I think to challenge for the world title in 23, and then when I won it, it just confirmed it was the right step. But moving through all these countries, I mean, it was a pleasure. I think I'm very privileged, and I'm grateful for that because I love people, I love different cultures, and exploring and. It makes me feel like a world citizen. I can adjust myself everywhere. It's so just interesting to meet so many different people from everywhere. Different backgrounds, and I'm very privileged for that and grateful.
Noel, my apologies for that oversight. I believe you knocked out Makabu for that title. Is that right? So I
That's
didn't know who knocked out Makabu first to get their hands on the belt first. I was a little, that's my fault. A simple box rec would have helped that, but
yeah. Well, that was the thing. I was the number one mandatory, and I was scheduled to fight Makabu in January 23. And then Badou got a special permission. I don't know why. He always talks about politics when it comes to others, but he got a special permission to challenge for it. And the winner was supposed to fight me. And then when he won, he didn't want to fight me. And then they offered. a decent amount of money as a step aside, and I declined. I said, I don't want it. I want to fight for the title. And he said, no, okay, I'm stepping back. The title was vacated, and they had a rematch clause with Makabu, and Makabu was Don's fighter. So I had to sign with Don to get the chance to fight him, and the fight was scheduled, and I proved why I'm the champion and beat him in 2 or 3 rounds. And then, yeah, the rest is history.
Politics in boxing, you don't say. But you know, sadly, man, in the last couple of days, we had the passing of Vanes Martirosyan, who again was our, yeah, like yourself, Armenian descent, a US Olympian. You know, the Armenian fan base, I always saw really supported him and was really proud of him. Any thoughts on his passing?
Definitely, my condolences to his family, and may he rest in peace. He was a great fighter. I remember even watching him when I was a teenager in Germany, um, because he became professional boxer very young, and he was like on all these great cards back in the day. He challenged for world titles, and he was an Olympian. He was training with Freddie, I think, back in the day, and
Yep.
he had a good style. He was a really decent boxer, and it's just so unfortunate at that young age that he passed away. I mean, it's a very sad story, and I'm very upset about it. I didn't know him personally, neither his family, but as a fellow Armenian, it's very tragic, and I can imagine the family is going through something. So yeah.
Yeah, because from what I've seen, you know, the Armenian community is always very proud and tight knit community. Does that serve as extra motivation, wanting to be a champion for them?
Definitely, because we are such a small country. We are only 10 million people around the world, only around 2 million people in the actual country. And there are not too many champions. I mean, we have 4 sports that we are really good in, or 4 or 5. It's boxing, weightlifting, wrestling, and then we are good at chess. But at these sports, we are very, very good, given that we are such a small population. And becoming a champion for Armenia, it's very honorable because there are not too many in the professional game. I think it's only 4, me included. I think it was
Victor Arcinian, right?
Opinion. It was Art Abraham, another fellow cruiserweight.
Right, like yourself, Abraham went to German, was, you know, a German amateur, right, but of Armenian descent.
Well, he was professional in Germany. I was actually fighting on his undercards. That's how I came up in professional boxing in Germany. He was always the main event, and I was in the second main event, junior world title, international titles, and he was a world champion already at that time, and he did pretty well for himself. There was this other fellow cruiserweight, and then me, and then me. So it was only, I think, 4 till now. So it's kind of like it's history, you know.
Let me well, how much you'll see it in movies and stuff when a guy's getting in deep waters in a fight or something, and how much do you really pull from that external motivation, you know, fighting for your people or even things just outside of competing and trying to win? How much does that really help spurn a fighter on in deep waters?
I mean, when you're in the deep waters, you have no time to think about it. Everything
Right,
is
right.
you're in tunnel vision, and you just try to make the best out of the situation. Most of the time, you already automated everything that you do and did in training. So sometimes you don't even remember why you did this or that in the fight. It's just automated repetition in the training. So I never had that feeling when I was in the ring or something, thinking about, oh, you have to fight for that. Um, Only I remember when I was fighting against Makabu, when I realized, oh, if this fight goes to scorecards, they will not give it to me. When I realized, oh, the referee is like saving him and gives him, he comes out of the corner and gives him 30 seconds eye check to recover. He just came out of the corner just because he got knocked down before it. I remember I was thinking, oh shit, this is not, this is against me. So now you have to let the dog out and just like wipe wipe him out. Those things you get sometimes, but like in movies or so, I don't know. It's a little bit romanticized.
Right, right. Does it at least serve you in camp?
Yeah, definitely. Like in camp, you have a lot of time to think, and you don't have your kill instinct every day. So
Right.
sometimes, like today, I had 12 round sparring with three savages. They try to kick the shit out of me, and I'm just going out of it. Now I'm like walking it off on the beach. I'm like, why do you do this to yourself?
Who were said savages? Any notable names? Guys that the fans know about that you're bringing in for work.
There's the one Banneker heavyweight champion current. There's one former light heavyweight world title contender who fought against Ramirez and I think Pascal Yunieski Gonzalez.
Yep.
Super, super tough guys. And they don't go easy on me. They come any rounds in there and just kick the shit, kick the shit out.
Well, they're earning their money then. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.